Tim.
Mr Dutton, Mr Albanese has suggested that you were wildly irresponsible in your comments yesterday with regard to the potential for Russia to base aircraft in Papua. One, were you? And two, has the government answered all outstanding questions on this issue?
Well, the answer to the first part of your question is no. As you know, the Prime Minister talks about this being the most precarious period since 1945. But then he puts a full stop and he doesn't talk about it because he's too weak to do so. So the prospect of having Russia with a greater presence in our region is very real, and there are a lot of questions that the government still has to answer. Now, we have asked for a briefing in relation to the matter. That hasn't been forthcoming yet, so we'll get that, I hope, today, but in due course. And I want to make sure that we can have very strong relationships with all of our neighbours, including Indonesia, an incredibly important friend and neighbour to us. But there are many questions that need to be answered. And as we know, the relationship between Russia and Indonesia is closer under this president, and we want to make sure that our relationship is a respectful one. And I want to make sure that the Australian people understand the risks in our region and over this period of time. The Prime Minister wants to pretend that it's not the reality, but when he says that we live in the most precarious period since the end of 1945, these are exactly the things that he's talking about, but his leadership is too weak to go any further to explain it to the Australian people.
But Mr Dutton, did President Prabowo ever say that Russia requested access to any...
No, the reference I made was obviously to what is a very credible military website, and that talked about government sources and of the Prabowo government sources. Now, it's obvious that Indonesia, well, it's a matter of fact that Indonesia has joined with Russia and with Brazil and with other countries, including China. They are closer together now. We don't know from the government exactly what happened because the government doesn't know. The government has reacted as the Prime Minister did, as I did yesterday, to the media reports, very credible media reports. And the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister found out about this from media reports, as they did in relation to the advice about the Chinese naval ship, as they've done in relation to the tariffs. Penny Wong talks a big game, but I don't think she's a foreign minister who's on top of her brief.
Did you jump the gun then in responding to those reports? Just wanted to talk about the PNG foreign minister. He said that he'd rather Labor be voted in, just saying if something is working well, why replace it, why destroy it? He said he didn't have anything against you, but what is your response to those comments?
Well, I've known Justin for about 20 years, and he's doing a great job as Foreign Affairs Minister in PNG. He comes from Melbourne, in fact. He's a colourful character. He's very colourful up in PNG, and he's a friend of our country, so we can work very effectively with the government. I've had friendships with successive Prime Ministers in PNG, and Justin's a good friend of our country and obviously a Melburnian originally, and is doing a good job up there.